Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this brand new CATIA Design Talk. Today, we have a very special topic, which is the new release of our 3D Experience R 2022 XGA release. And here, we want to talk about one app called ICEM Design Experience, and IDX, so-called, allows you to create Class A surfaces right on the platform without having to switch between different solutions, and you can stay in one platform at that all time. As usual, I'm not alone, so welcome with me our portfolio team who will explain the new app to you. Laurent Igarza, Surface Refinement Roles Portfolio Director. Hi, Laurent.
Hello, everyone. Nice to be with you.
Sylvain Carré, Surface Modeling Role Portfolio Specialist. Welcome.
Hello.
Sylvain. And last but not least, Fabio Ballari, Surface Modeling Roles Portfolio Senior Specialist. Welcome, Fabio.
Hello to everybody.
Before we start, I'm sure you will have plenty of questions after the presentation, which we will all try to answer right after the presentation. So I will collect your questions and then we will answer them later. So let's start with a short overview. Laurent, what exactly is ICEM Design Experience?
Well, for people who are not familiar with ICEM product family, you might know that we have a legacy solution called ICEM Surf, the well-known ICEM Surf, to do class A modeling and concept modeling of surfaces, high advanced surfaces. We have CATIA ICEM solution, which is basically the technology of ICEM Surf and the mathematics of ICEM Surf. We've been putting last decade on CATIA V5, actually, which is already deployed also to some of our main customers. And with the 3D experience, we delivered, actually, we wanted to do best of both worlds within ICEM Design Experience. So basically, we will provide a new user experience that I will demo in a few minutes. Privileging direct modeling, what we call soft parametric. So we'll have a more detailed session on this aspect, which is very important. And of course, the capability to do both surfaces and curves methods as you wish, okay? So we will focus on this new application that is actually delivered as a minimum viable product since 2 years already. But the soft parametric aspect, we deliver it with the new release 22 weeks this year, okay? It's actually already on the cloud since yesterday. So what we want to provide is a solution for, again, just like ICEM Surf, for both concept modelers and Class A surface modelers, privileging, of course, productivity, bringing a lot of innovation, okay? That's important for us. A lot of innovation and of course benefiting from the platform, a lot of collaboration tools that you will see with Fabio demo and Sylvain demo. So quickly, I will not comment what I'm doing here, just to show you the frame of the application. So you see that we have been redesigning and even revising some CATIA standards on 3D experience. So you have a new components here, this palette, which is always near you, this organizer to organize your data and quickly switch between scenes, I would say, of your design, and accelerator to quickly access your preferred functions, okay? So here, it's a demo done by Fabio. You see Fabio's creating a blend surface here. He's also creating another blend on the hood here. And when he's creating, he's able at the same time to change the control point. We will see that in a minute. You see here with four sides, we are doing a patch from curve, and it's always the same command. The same command is interpreting your selection and adapting to your demand. Okay. So now what Fabio is doing is basically just bumping up the hood, and you see everything is following. Why? Because it is what we call soft parametric. So soft parametric is the capacity to have features like in CATIA, but you are still able to do direct modeling directly on top of it and not forgetting everything. Okay, we could do quickly a fillet here. We snap some isoparameter to do the fading edge area. And in a few flick movement with accelerator, we can call the diagnosis, zebra diagnosis, for instance, to judge the surface. So again, you see, we've just been changing a lot of stuff on the screen to make you focus on 3D and not having too many tools in the way, okay? Just the three pillars, I would say, of the new values for you is, of course, like I was mentioning before, modeling approach. So you can really choose if you want to do a curve-based approach or surface-based approach or mix of both. In terms of mathematics, you are not stuck on Bézier. If you want to use NURBS to do class A, it's possible also. This is a big part of the innovation. We deliver new tools to allow you to do class A quality with NURBS. Okay, so you can do Bézier or NURBS or both again. And last but not least, you have this kind of tuning possible if you want to work with explicit modeling. So dead geometry, never updating, you can. And if you want at the opposite to always update like in traditional CATIA, you can also. And if you want to do something in between, you still can. This is the soft parametric tuning and update behavior. You will have the choice to perform. Okay. I will let hand now to Sylvain to show especially the modeling and soft parametric more in detail. I'm done actually not.
Yes, so Sylvain, please tell us more about the soft parametric values.
Yes, and I would like to go further. And first of all, hello everybody, and Honorata. Yes, I'm delighted to speak what we call especially unified modeling values, the unified modeling aspect. I mean, there is three pillars for me about unified modeling in IDX. So let me show you here and present them. First of all, there is a lot of flexibility in IDX because access, creation, and modification freedom of creativity, I mean. The second aspect is the power. The power is provided because of associativity and intelligent automation. We can choose the soft parametric level update we want to be. And of course, the last but not the least, we ensure the detail and high quality surfaces in class as a class A level, and this is what we call the precision. Okay, though this is the main pillars, the three pillars of the unified modeling aspect. So let's move to a video on the interior door panel showing the values in action. So yes, again, yes. So creating explicit curve and simply sculpt and check diagnoses in a simple way thanks to the palette on the right side. It's easy to move, to modify, and to call the diagnoses. With one unique command, it's possible to create all surfaces type depending on the selected inputs. The update mode reshape here allows will let you sculpt persistently on top of a surface. I will show you just after. Multiple options and parameters are, of course, available in OmniSurf, as you can see on the panel. For instance, it is possible to choose between NURBS and Bézier output and shape a surface with overcrowning, for instance, here. And I can save it as a feature as a datum. Let's come back to the first surface here. We make a pause. You can easily add control points on top of the flat surface here, just by typing on the keyboard, for instance. And here it is really easy and flexible to sculpt on top of the surface, you know. So here I sculpt easily and add control points. And you can feel free to sculpt also the input curve in the same time by keeping all the historical link and associativity between the curve inputs and the surface. I really love it. It is really a big value. This is what we call soft parametric. Another innovation is the capability to inject a new curve input, as you can see here, into an existing reshaped feature. So I will add this curve in this surface as a profile curve, and notice how I can easily take this curve as a profile, a new profile for the surface sculpted previously. Brilliant. It's really powerful. Let's talk about the power of 3D experience. It is possible to mix the different technology as NURBS, Bezier surface, and subdivision. Feature as Class A fillets works perfectly between both, as you can see here. It is really, robust, I would say. And another aspect of the 3D experience system, you have the capability to snap the subdivision to an input curve in same time of the surface Bezier and NURBS. So it's really interesting for concept surface and class A surface and work between both. So it's very easy to use. So here I summarize the three pillars of the unified modeling aspect in IDX: flexibility, precision, and the power.
Yes, just go ahead, please. Somehow I have a camera issue, so you cannot see me anymore. I don't know why. I'm trying to solve this, but please go ahead with the presentation.
So I can take the hand to Fabio.
Yes,
Probably.
please hand over to Fabio.
Okay. So on my side, I wanted to show another example with surface modeling based more on electric aircraft. So as you see, starting by the project dashboard, we are able to launch the app directly from the cloud. And there we can import scan data, also sketches, as you can see here. And as we are integrating the 3D experience platform, we can directly retrieve the mechanical engineer and electrical engineer data by just loading them. So considering other department constraints since the beginning, which is pretty fundamental for such a kind of project. So once all information organized, we are now able to start modeling, as you have seen, with new UI improvement, providing efficiency. We also introduce the new fictive edge command that enables you to create on the fly surfaces and a fictive curve that can be used directly or retrieved. OmniSurf technology, you have seen, my colleague just explained you. And also, as you've seen, also the customizable crown menu, enabling the user to customize the user interface. And now we start the classical Class A sculpting approach by approaching the scan with real-time deviation, with real-time mapping deviation as well, as you can see here. We also introduced the new multi-view picture-in-picture, enables you to set up multi-view scene as much you want, or as flexible you want. And now we discover new workflow, what I call the curve-based surface sculpting, and this is pretty unique in the market. That thanks to the sub-parametric and the full associativity, we are able to define curve and surface associativity. And thanks to the sub-parametric, we are able to update everything real time. You see here. And also we have improved. We also have improved the performance thanks to the smart update. So everything combined, you are able to have efficiency design session, and the soft parametric will take care of all the highlight and all the connection. Last but not least, we also have improved the fillet capability thanks to the low management control, as you can see here. And this of course, with collaboration of customer in production right now. I just wanted to show you another demo here where we can see the benefit of being integrated into the 3D experience platform. You can see here by just clicking on the button, we are able to start a VR session where we can still keep modeling the shape of the cockpit in this case and see real time in immersive way the result. We also are able to create in-context cabin design and define volumes and cockpit from inside of the aircraft in this case. And this really helps to have better precision of the modeling. Thanks to the product perception experience, we are also able to replay scenes. And of course, in this case, you see we are able to replay simulation. And more than ever, simulation in design would seem is strategic. You can see here, this is very useful for design review meetings. And you see here, we have a problem with the efficiency of the shape of the aircraft. We are able real time without any import and export to modify, create a new version of the aircraft and replay the simulation on top of it, compare it side by side during design review, and see what are the impact of the design change.
This is really impressive. I must say this is so great that you can do this modeling and simulation together now.
Yeah, this is really the power of the 3D
Yes.
experience and integration of the app we have. Same example for the live rendering. Here we are able to create photorealistic images without any import and any export. You can see here, and this is really important because visualization is also part of design and modeling more and more. You can directly produce such a kind of images. And as well, thanks to the humans integration, we are able to create such a, I would say, ergonomic study with the human incarnation, record it and replay it anytime. And this is very impressive when you experience such a kind of VR session within human integration. So to conclude, 3D Experience Platform provide a complete and streamlined workflow from design to manufacturing and to consumer experience. You can see here.
Yes, and maybe we can even add that since this release, we have improved the ergonomic testing by including Ramses into the platform as well.
Yeah, this is what you see.
Yeah, actually. So yeah, this is maybe interesting to mention that Ramses, a software from Human Solutions, is integrated in the platform now, and you have the possibility to do all kind of ergonomic tests for your products. And you can also choose between many different mannequins, no matter if it's men, women, children, size, weight, everything is possible, right?
Yes, sure.
Yes.
Something we show very shortly in the demo of Sylvain is that not speaking about I would say detail, ergonomy, and proportion of the mannequin, etc. You can just bring a human within your interior design and directly use it, like you will use a toy, I would say, to position it. So this is what we saw quickly in the demo of Sylvain. He did bring a human that is putting his hand. You can snap with the right physiology the human on top of your geometry and directly see if the handle is correctly positioned and move it and adjust it. So I think it's removing very quickly a lot of mistakes, especially in concept phase. And it's even better to present that to your managers actually to show where you are in your design. So that's a big value. And again, it's directly usable. No need for conversion or importing whatever. It's in.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, this kind of review possibilities and collaborations for reviews are also very nice to mention again, because it's not only that you can review your design when you're doing it, you can do it with your colleagues or whomever, and you don't even have to be in the same room. So you can meet virtually and review your model, right?
Mm. Yes, we didn't see that in the demo of Fabio because he was actually shooting the video where you are presenting, Fabio. This is where the VR room. Yes, you can do collaboration in VR. So in the demo we did not show it, but if you need several people from several sites to join in the same VR session, it's one big value on 22X right now. We have the solid infrastructure to support that now.
Yes, yeah. So we have a first question. I will put it on screen here. Is it easy to bring in engineering data and share the design proposal with simulation and production departments?
Actually, it's more than easy. You just have to load it. So not need to import and export. So you have to think about we have a mechanical engineer, surfacing modeler, application that are all integrated on top of the same platform. Of course, you have right to open, load, edit, etc. Provided by the administrator, but potentially you can have access to all the data you need.
Mm. And in terms of data management, they are what we call collaborative space. And for sure, depending on the project you are, the organization you are, you will have certain access right or forbidden rights against data. But normally, it's very easy for engineering department to share only what the design needs to know and load to work efficiently without doing stupid clashes or this kind of traditional mistakes that can happen very easily.
Yeah,
So
and vice
it's
versa.
just as easy as Fabio just said for me. So
Yeah.
we showed that in your beginning of the demo quickly. Yes.
Yeah.
And I add a comment? We don't see here today in the demonstration, but we have also the 3D experience web applications, allowing to share and to discuss, to exchange between users and managers, for instance. And this is a very interesting and good way to let people know what you have done on your design, and then you can share the design proposal for the simulation, yes, for the simulation and so on. Yeah.
I don't know, Norata, if we will have a session on this kind of tools to communicate on the website, but yes, you have a kind of we have Swim, which is a kind of social
Yes.
network.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
and you
we have a
within
community.
Swim we will deliver tools to collaborate, annotate, and etc. So it's very easy.
Yeah. I mean, we can consider to do a talk about that as well, because I think this is quite interesting and a new way of working with each other. So designers working with engineers and communicating with each other. So this is maybe worth telling the story. We have another question. This is probably not so easy to answer because the differences are so huge. Let me put this on. What is the difference between the old version of CATIA and the new one?
So
World.
what is the old version?
Yes, the
CATIA
old
V5.
version.
Straight answer, the very old version of CATIA is CATIA V4, and there was no ICEM in it. So that's the first answer. No, more seriously, yes, in CATIA V5, so just like I was mentioning at the beginning of my presentation, you have an application called CATIA ICEM Shape Design. So this is really allowing you to do Class A with mathematics of ICEM and the power of features of CATIA. But the user interface is really CATIA user-oriented. Really sequential, really you need a lot of method to do it. So it's something we really position for accessories and niche parts, the finishing of the Class A. So What we were missing in the 3D experience is really an application, really joining the forces and the advantages of ICEM Surf, where you have full explicit modeling, direct modeling. You can modify what you want, wherever you want, whenever you want, and the power of CATIA updating, keeping the story of what you do. So we really merge those two on ICEM Design Experience. And to do that, we faced some, I would say, some struggle against the old CATIA V5 frame. And we really revised it in ICEM Design Experience to allow you to work fluently. So you have, if I go straight, we change the way to, you even have the way to navigate like in ICEM Surf. If you like the ICEM Surf navigation, you can do it in ICEM Design Experience on the platform, so you feel at home.
Yes.
Or you can navigate like in CATIA, both are available. We have changed the way to navigate, to display the 3D, to change the display between wireframe and shading very quickly, to activate the analysis. We did a lot of stuff, and for me, the big value is we deliver 5 new ways to deform shapes. Not only the control points of Bezier, but also gravel points, torque handle, the low to tune the diffusion of things, etc. So you have a lot of new tools, a lot of new ways to shape stuff, and even in Nerve's world. And actually, we are really impatient to see what customers are doing with that as a new spectacular workflow to reach more faster, super and smooth shape. Okay, that's really
then Laurent, IDX is only available on 3D Experience, right?
Yes, yes. So you have a quick picture. ICEM Surf is the legacy software standalone. ICEM Shape Design is available on both CATIA V5 and 3D Experience. So if you are using CATIA ICEM Shape Design on 3D Experience, of course you benefit from the platform. So VR is still true, nice rendering also, etc. And if you are using ICEM Design Experience application, it's only on 3DX, and it's available on the cloud as we speak.
Okay, we have some more questions to answer, so I'm gonna put some more on here. So, okay. What is the difference between Alias and ICEM? That is maybe something that we can point out.
So I will be transparent on that. I believe an Alias user will be more comfortable to use ICEM Design Experience as a first shot, because in Alias you already have some history. Okay, so you have a bit of history. So you have already a kind of mindset of how to structure your model. You already know that if you want to deform the shape by this curve, you will do in that order stuff, etc. In ICEM Surf, you are really free to go. So you just shoot at geometry, and when you have two big changes, you need to delete and redo basically. Yes, Alias user won't be uncomfortable in ICEM Design Experience. They will find stuff they know, the way to move the robot with 3 mouse buttons, for instance, this kind of stuff. So the difference is just you have more power in ICEM Design Experience, because you never lose the history if you want.
Yes,
and you have the collaboration.
Yes, in addition to that, you have collaboration with mechanical engineering directly integrated inside into the experience, as we said, with simulation. No need to import data to produce a realistic image, to produce a VR session, and so on. One of the biggest power as well, beside the functionality 1x1, is really the integration in the 3D experience platform, CATIA, and so on. Yeah, that's to very quickly answer. There are 1,000 of differences, but yeah, this is one of the biggest values as well.
And one detail I wanted to mention on that, Fabio, is in VR natively. So that's what it was very quick, but that was what you showed in the demo. What you see on the user modeling on the modeler screen is what you get in the VR. So in the VR, you also can look at the zebras. You can see the control points being deformed in front of you. You can see you can be what the picture we do in live rendering. You can have the same level of rendering in VR. So that's really happening in front of you, and again in collaboration if needed. So that's pretty snapping finger time to set up this kind of session, and I think that's one of the big value on ICEM Design Experience on the platform.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another key
Let's move to the.
differentiator.
Oh.
Oh,
So
Maybe we can answer more questions because we have quite a few coming up here. So I
Okay.
would, if you don't mind, yeah? Okay, so again, one difference. Can CATIA create geometries of textures similar to Grasshopper?
Good question.
It's for you, Sylvain. It's for you. Yes.
For me?
Yes.
Yes, but it is the kind of same answer than before we provided, because again we are in the 3D experience, and depending on the roles you have and applications you have on your side as a user, you have access also to X generative design. This is similar to Grasshopper, I would say. You can make generative design, and you can, of course, it's completely integrated to the 3D experience. So you can modeling your first concept surface modeling, and then you can add some generative design pattern on top of it, and simulate and make some realistic pictures, and then to get output surface ready to be manufactured, I would say. Yes, but yes,
Exactly, yes.
X generative design, XGD, so called, you can have a better way and a similar way than Grasshopper, of course.
Just a comment, but you see a part of a car behind Sylvain, which has been done with that. Okay, so you have a huge kind of in the grid here, kind of texture, bump texture. This is done with this kind of tool. Okay, so yes, in CATIA you can do, I would say, programming modeling with a graph and tune your pattern between 1 and 2000 if you want,
Yeah.
and that's on the web. So CATIA, what you forgot to mention, Sylvain, it's CATIA geometry. So you don't have any conversion to do. It's live in your demo. So if you want to explore the kind of repetitive modeling you are doing with X generative design, you can have your friend in VR behind looking at it and saying, "Stop! This is the one I want."
And I invite you, the user was the question. I invite you to go to see to the other CATIA talks about it, about generative.
There was already one, I think, Honorata on generative design, a CATIA talk.
Yeah.
We didn't have any yet.
Okay.
But
oh, yes, of course, yes. We had, so if you're interested, we had about CATIA X generative design, 3D shape, and X shape design, which you can find in the community. I will share the link later here.
Okay.
So you can check back the former talks if you want to see a bit more examples about the different features, then you can find it there. Let's move to the next question. Cedric. Hi, Cedric. Nice to have you. Is it possible to create Bezier with soft modeling or only datum?
Of course.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. In fact, it was already a possibility in ICEM Shape Design, but we also propose it in ICEM Design Experience. You can choose the mathematics you want for your output surfaces or curve. So if you say I want only one segment, you will have a Bezier result. Up to you after to accept the tolerance or the deviation against your expectation in terms of precision. But if you want to work only in Bezier, it's perfectly possible. Still being associative. You don't. Datum is a possibility we offer for people who are not comfortable with the concept. But by default, you can work with reshape pod even in Bezier. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We have also some questions in our CATIA Creative Design and Styling community. One that is very important to answer to everyone is the final target of this software to replace ICEM Surf. It was clear that this question would come up, and we can totally say no.
Question for you, Laurent.
Yes, So tell me if I understood the question. When do we replace ICEM Surf by?
No. The question was if the aim of ICEM Design Experience is to replace ICEM Surf.
Of course, we hope that most of our customer will move to ICEM Design Experience, but the customer will tell us when they are ready to drop ICEM Surf. We know you love ICEM Surf, and we are still delivering a lot on ICEM Surf. I can see this. Sylvain is leading these developments, and we do a lot. Even VR also on ICEM Surf. So we have no plan to end ICEM Surf as of today. We will end it when customers say we don't need it anymore because we are happy with 3D experience, for instance. But as we speak, both are living in parallel, and you can use both of them because data exchange between the two is pretty straight. So no, and
because
experience is ready to replace, at least in your company, ICEM Surf, you tell us. We give you this new tool with a lot of innovation, etc. So I'm very impatient to see what customer will do as new workflow and ask us about that to go further.
Yeah. and if you want to know what's coming up, what new features are coming in ICEM Surf, there is a webinar, I think tomorrow or next week, I'm not sure, which is talking about the new features and functions in the new ICEM Surf release. So please.
I will say it's too late, but it's not too late. But the CATIA TV webinar took place on the last week, actually, the 17th of November. Yes,
yeah.
Yes, and with the speaker Nick McFerran, and very good highlight level. Of this 2021 release. So I invite you to go to our communities, CATIA user community, creating styling. I guess the video is available, the replay.
Yes.
So yes, it's done, and yes, it's a 30 minutes video. Yes, really good highlights. Yes.
I will link.
You will even retrieve some elements we did put in ICEM Design Experience within ICEM Surf, to be honest.
Yes. Not all, but
okay. Let me see where we are. We have so many questions. I need just quickly to sort them out a little bit. Okay, well, let's go back to Asif. In my experience with CATIA V5, I had some issues when I tried to design a beam structure for fuselage of an aircraft in a real-time geometry. The software forcefully ends the application. Why is that happening? Do we know? I think this is just a bug that you have experienced. So for this kind of questions, please go to the 3D experience, to the CATIA Creative Design and Styling community and ask your questions. And when you send us images or a report, we can try to help you out to sort this out in the community.
Yes, please, because the communities are really, really active, and people answer 1-2 days after. It's really active. Yes.
Yes, so you can talk with our experts like the three you see here and all the others, and also with our CATIA champions, and everybody is happy to help you out and answer your questions. Okay, let's go to the next one we have here. Can we control the class A surfaces with isoparametric curves?
Yes.
Yes, actually, that was the demo in Sylvain's part. A very interesting workflow is you get two guides, you create a section with an isoparametric curve, for instance, which is where you don't keep history, and then you can even use this curve to reinject it as a section of the surface to get a H sweep, for instance. But I don't. In the future, what you will be able also to do is to use directly the the segments of the surface to deform it. So, Sylvain, you wanted to add something?
Now,
Yeah.
just to explain, in my example, it's not exactly an isoparametric curve here in
You
this
could have
example.
done one.
But what I did in the video, it's just create on the fly one curve or very accuracy curve. Then I can model before, and then I can at any time to inject a new curve or a new stuff to as input. It was not isoparametric curve, but probably yes, of course you can do with the isoparametric curve. You can create an isoparametric curve and integrate and inject as a new input curve.
Yeah.
As a
I
profile.
wanted to take the chance of the question to insist on a concept. Of course, you can modify Class A surfaces with any curves, but thanks to the soft parametric, we also have a new workflow because you are able to modify the surface by modifying the curve. Then you can sculpt on top of the surface, and you can keep going modifying the surfaces by changing the curve. In this case, you
Without
keep the link.
breaking the.
Yeah, you keep the link, and you don't break the link, and this is unique in the market.
So you use the curve to do a kind of skeleton of with the characteristic lines, I would say characteristic line, and you use the surface to tune the reflection, and you're good to go.
You can direct tune the structure of the surface by direct modeling it, and you still keep the associativity with the input curve.
Okay. We have another question from Steven. Hi, Steven. I can see how powerful IDX can be, but cost could be an issue for smaller companies. Is standalone ICEM Surf going to be developed and supported in the future? So it's basically the question that we have already answered. So yes, it will be supported, and it's still in development. And please, Steve, go back to the community and watch the webinar from last week that Nick gave, and see which enhancements you can use in ICEM Surf with a new release.
Probably we will share again the link to the replay of the session ICEM Surf.
Yes, I will share the link in the post of the replay of this talk, and then you can jump right to it. We'll do it after this talk. So we have another question about the typography writing tool. Is there a typography writing tool planned on the platform in CATIA? So you can write letters with different fonts.
You have two. I would say you have two jobs. The lettering aspect, which is to put the logo of your brand on the car, for instance.
Yeah.
Usually you do that. So you can import, for instance, some SVG profile as curves and use them. But within the Sketcher tool of CATIA that we provide in the role containing ICEM Design Experience, you have a writing capability. So it's just consuming the fonts you have installed on your computer, but you can generate directly geometry from a font. Yes, so you can write it in the sketch, and after you have several ways to deform it and apply it on surfaces also if needed. So yes,
and you can import all vectorial stuff from other software in the 3D experience as well. Yes, it works perfectly, and you get curve.
Okay.
You get most of the time Bezier curve that you are used to deform software like Illustrator, for instance.
Okay. Maybe we can answer one last user question, which you as experts can best answer. It's not about functionality, but how easy it is to jump on CATIA with all its functionality when you have worked with SolidWorks. It's not absolutely.
Honestly, it's pretty similar. I would say the hard switch, if it is hard, the hard switch is to learn the difference between navigation and selection, because there are a lot some nuances between SolidWorks and CATIA V5, for instance. But if you know SolidWorks, you will not be lost in CATIA. I mean, you call a command, you do.
The specification tree is more or less similar, I would say. So
actually, I think the spec tree is even easier in CATIA V5 because it's immersive in the window. But yeah, honestly, it's no difficulty from my point of view.
Okay. I would answer one last question from our community coming from Peter. Hi all, ICEM Surf contains vast variety of special functionalities and diagnoses, including the ones newly introduced in 2021.1. How much of it is covered by IDX today? So compared to the functionalities of ICEM Surf, how far is IDX?
Good question with two answers. First of all, I forgot to mention at the beginning, but any role you will purchase on 3D Experience contains always both of ICEM Design Experience and ICEM Shape Design. Okay, so you have the tool from CATIA V5 by default, and in those tools, some of them are already addressing the need, such as gap feature. What can we have? I mean, all the analysis, surface curvature, etc. Actually, we have even new ones delivered with 22x release that you can find on the new capability of 22x. If you go in ICEM Shape Design, you have a bunch of new stuff. And mostly for very specialized tools, this is ICEM Shape Design that will deliver the equivalent tool. So I believe Peter is thinking about safety rules, for instance. Safety rules tools we delivered. Actually, to be again transparent, we use ICEM Surf as a first place to be up to date on that function, which is very linked to regulation, for instance. And of course, in future release of 3D Experience, we will also address it with ICEM Design Experience. As of today, except for the latest 2 years of development in ICEM Surf, I would say the rest is pretty equivalent in the two worlds. So you have already a lot of tools that are covering the needs in CATIA side.
I'm really delighted about this question because it means user like a lot the new stuff from ICEM Surf as well. Yeah, like safety analysis. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, one more from LinkedIn, and then I will ask all the audience to move to our community to discuss all your not yet answered questions, because the lack of time, we are overdue quite a lot already. So here you go with one more. How far can the soft parameters be used to define design requirements, e.g. gap and flush conditions?
So the question is requirement design application are supported in soft parametric, right? Like gap and flush.
Yes, actually, all the features from CATIA, so the CATIA V5, or whether they are in V5 or 3D Experience, coming from Generative Shape Design or ICEM Shape Design, you can do soft parametric on top. So it means if you do a gap and you don't like a corner and you want to do and sculpt it, it is feasible. So it's integrated, and yes, you can do it in ICEM Design Experience without piling tons of transformation. It's directly in.
Well, you can create automatic output stuff, and then if you want, yes, to sculpt, to adjust, to refine something on top of it, yes, feel free.
Customers who have deployed CATIA ICEM Shape Design, they are using it up to the template capability mode. So for ones who are familiar with the knowledge world in CATIA, you can really do ready-to-use parts that you can instantiate on a new design. And you can do class A, like, I don't know, door handle or air conditioning grill or air intakes. You can really do that with a template. And when you generate this template with shape design, and in ICEM Design Experience, you can tune it. So it's pretty efficient workflow.
Great. Thanks a lot for all your answers. I will stop the Q&A right now because we are 50 minutes now. And I would like to invite the whole audience to move to our community. Maybe we can put the link to the community on screen. And no, not this one. Just give me a second. It's gone. Okay, I will add the link in a moment. But you can come to the community. You will answer. You can ask all your questions, and Fabio, Laurent, and Sylvain will be happy to answer. So we have some open questions and discussions in the community right now. So I invite you to join us here. And yes, and then we move on with that in the community. What I would also like to mention just briefly is we have a roadshow coming up. So next year, we will come to 6 different cities in Europe. Oh, it's again the wrong one. And then you can visit us. We will be in Germany, in Sweden, in UK, Italy, and in France. And you will get some more info about that a bit later. So for now, thank you, Jens, for being here with me, for giving the presentation and answer all the questions. And I see you all back in the community. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Cheers.
Nice day.